Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our nostalgic or problematic series where we are rewatching season 2 of Dawson's Creek. We are on episode 12. We are already veering off of saying that we are going to do 2 episodes each time.
Yes.
We will next week, although we
will.
said that last week.
Well,
and we didn't.
A little bit of time has opened up in my schedule.
Right.
Let's just say that.
We'll just say that.
We will
that.
probably get to 2.
Okay, so we are on episode 12 called Unchartered Waters.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the summary. As a fishing tournament provides a chance for some father-son bonding, Gayle's report on teenage girls exposes the friction between Jen and Joey.
Yep.
This was a heavy episode.
I think so too.
It was a lot.
There was a lot. I mean, the show's always about relationships, but there was a lot about parent relationships and kids viewing parents a certain way and parents viewing kids a certain way. And then also like the toxic part of being in relationships with your peers. I'm not even going to say toxic like girl relationships. It did kind of focus on that, but like in general, like how those all can be. Yeah, it was heavy.
I didn't have like tons of notes either. Okay. Like I just have some, and I watched this weeks ago, so I was like trying to remember,
like reread it.
I
liked in the opening, Pacey and Dawson are in Dawson's room, and Pacey's throwing darts.
Yeah,
and Pacey says, "What if darts are my destiny?" And then Dawson just totally ignores the question and starts talking about something else. And I was like, no, okay, I love that so much.
You want to know a funny dart story?
Yeah.
Troy is super good at darts.
Okay.
He used to be in a dart league.
That's cool.
When we first started dating. Yeah, he used to play darts all the time. He was really good at it.
And he's still good at it? Or
I don't know. He hasn't played it in
You don't
forever.
have a dartboard at your house?
We did in one of our houses, but I don't know. It got lost in the move or I don't, who knows?
Interesting.
Broke or whatever.
So,
anyway.
So that whole opening scene, it is kind of funny because we've talked before about how articulate these teens are. So these two boys are just like having a moment throwing darts, and then all of a sudden they're talking about their respect levels for their fathers. And they're like, well, do you respect your father? Well, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, you didn't answer the question. And then Dawson asks Pacey, and it was just kind of funny, but it was a good setup. Yeah. Because then as the episode goes on,
it's
both
all
of their
about
dads are in it and, you know, all of that. But that was kind of that opening scene. And then I thought that it was interesting once the show started after the intro song and stuff, when Joey and Dawson are talking in the hall. What did you think about Joey kind of being jealous that Dawson was bragging about Jen?
I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
part.
he was talking about how Joey says something offhand like, "Oh, how's the movie going?"
Oh,
that part.
Right.
And he's like, you know what? Jen's actually doing a great job, and she's this and that. And Joey's like, oh, well, sorry, I couldn't have been great or something. And I was like, okay. But
I mean, that checks for a teenage girl.
It does. I mean, I think I do that in real life now.
Yeah,
sometimes
I mean,
I'm like, oh, you're saying that I'm not good, and it's like, no, I'm just saying this other person's good at something.
That you didn't even like. It's also too. She didn't want anything to do with it.
True.
Again, but then it's like you made that choice to not be there, but you're pissed that somebody else is doing a good job at the job you didn't want.
Correct.
That's what she was basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. That's typical.
But we all do that.
Or
everybody wants to be missed and everybody wants to be wanted.
And to be irreplaceable.
Right.
Right. But most of the time, none of us are.
Oh, none of us are irreplaceable.
For anything.
Wow, that got dark.
Wow,
fast.
Okay.
Oh, wait, here's a funny thing.
Yes.
So the sunglasses Pacey had on in the beginning of the show that he had on the rest, Troy, I swear to God, had those exact sunglasses.
Yes.
Like, and I have pictures of us on our honeymoon in the year 2005.
Okay.
Those were the sunglasses. We looked so stupid, and all our clothes. Like, we look back at those and we're like, what the hell?
Really?
Oh my God.
I don't think I've seen any of those. Have you ever posted them on like your anniversary?
No, because they're terrible.
Oh, I want to see them.
Oh my God. I was trying to grow out this awful haircut.
Wait, you got an awful haircut before your wedding?
It's a long story. We'll talk about it another day. But I also like had this, I was like going through this halter, like this tube top phase. I don't know.
I mean, it was 2005. Everyone, I have pictures of myself from 2005 in a halter,
and I had these
top.
Like striped pants that I loved
with the tube top.
No,
separate.
I had this with some hat that oh girl, I don't know what I was doing. Anyway,
well, I would like to see those.
Troy's glasses are epic. Pacey had them. All right, so why don't we talk about Gayle and her like interview concept?
Yeah,
I think it's interesting, and I put a smiley face by this because I said adults are always trying to understand teenagers every decade. We will never figure
Every
it out.
time. Never. Because the way we felt as teens, well,
It's
first of all,
different.
as time goes by,
Yeah.
our memories change. But also, humans are constantly evolving.
Oh, yeah.
So a teen, there are some universal things, but a teen now is not totally different, but going to be a lot different from a teen in 10 or 20 years.
Correct.
And trying to understand that.
Yeah.
I liked the idea. I was going to ask you about it. I said the teen girl news segment idea, and I wondered what your thoughts were.
The only thing I didn't like was Jen calling her Gayle.
I didn't even notice that.
That irks me because I am not your peer. Like, not me, but I don't like it when, now, I'm sure Gayle told her that's fine. Call me Gayle, whatever. But to me, that's just weird because they're not peers.
But I feel like, yes. But I feel like for this storyline and what happens later with Joey, maybe that's why.
I still don't like it.
Okay.
I think I've told you that. Like, I don't want somebody, like, if I've had people's children who are like 7, 8, like, you know, call me Danny, and I'm like, but I'm not going to correct them because that's none of my business.
What do you want them to call you?
Well, I don't know, but it's just weird. Like,
no, I mean, like, I'm genuinely asking. I'm not asking, like, would it be Mrs. Combs? Would it be Miss Danny?
I don't want to be called Miss Combs. Probably Miss Danny. I just feel like that feels right when you're a small child. Like, I had an old neighbor whose kids, like, you know, that's, you know, what they taught their kids, just call people by their name, which is fine. I'm not saying that. I'm saying me. I don't like it.
You feel weird about it.
Okay. Maybe it's because I'm Southern. Maybe. And like, it's like ingrained in me. Yeah. That you do not. Now, we never taught our kids to say sir or ma'am. Because it irks my husband because he's like, you can use manners.
Be respectful without that.
And it drives my stepdad crazy.
Because he wants them to.
And he will correct them. And he will say, no, you say no, sir. And I'm like, actually, in our house, don't correct my own kids. So I would never tell somebody's kid, actually, bitch.
Yeah.
It's Miss Danny
actually,
to you.
7-year-old.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess most people just call me Miss Katie. Yeah. So I've never really noticed.
Maybe because I'm short, they don't call me Miss Danny. I don't know.
Maybe. They're like, she's our peer. She's our height. It's
fine.
You
Did you see what I put in my story today?
No.
Okay, it was this quote and it said nobody, or what did it say? And it said, never mind. I'm going to mess it up. It said kids.
I'll look at it after.
It says kids to me. Oh, I'm almost as tall as me. I'm almost as tall as you. And then it says me, shut up, motherfucker, or something like that.
You're like, true, but go away.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Well, that wasn't what the quote said. Whatever, I messed that up.
Right.
Let's go back to Dawson's.
Okay. And then my next question was Jack on fishing trip.
Yeah.
So was Pacey wrong for not warning Dawson and Jack that the other would be there? And do you think it really was an oversight, or did he do it on purpose?
He's a teenage boy. It was an oversight.
It was an oversight. Okay. But he should have told them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they got beef.
Yeah. And then Jack not understanding the water at all and wearing a life vest and stuff. What was that all about?
That'd be me.
Yeah, but like, aren't they from, I know they just moved to Capeside, but aren't they from somewhere that was
because you're from New England doesn't mean you know about water.
Okay. Okay, so the next question, what was the point of making that character choice for Jack? Why did we need to know? Just to be different? That he's an outsider?
It's really like
I am really having some existential crisis. I was like, why
did they make this character choice of him not knowing about the water? Katie, I do not know. I don't know.
Like, I was like, are they trying to say that he is like not as masculine as everybody else because you don't know how to fish?
I don't think it's that deep. I think,
or is it just like you're an outsider?
Yeah.
We know how to do all these things, and you're still learning.
I think.
Okay.
I think it was just to maybe push home the point that he's the new kid. It doesn't fit in.
Okay, that answers my question. A lot of question marks on my page. This is weird.
Okay. I literally don't have that much. The girls finding the porn in Dawson's room was hilarious.
That was so funny.
Because that's so typical, right?
Yeah. And didn't she say it's called Goodwill Hunting?
Humping.
Oh, I thought she actually said Goodwill Hunting. And then in the next scene when they're watching a porn, I was like, oh, he disguised it in that box. Humping.
Well, maybe it was Goodwill Humping in the Goodwill Hunting box.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
That was it.
But it did make me think it's such a different vibe for a bunch of teenage girls sitting around when they're watching porn than it is when teenage boys watch the porn, right? And I feel not, and I'm not going to, I don't want to put any gender stereotypes on anybody, but it's funny because they're sitting there like, oh my God, like what? And they know it's fake, right? So they're commentating like, oh gosh, how do they do that? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, whatever. And I'm like, it's so funny because I can remember the first time of seeing some porn, and it was with girlfriends. We found whatever. Yeah. And it was the exact same reaction. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they got that right. And I liked that Gayle didn't really react.
She was just like, girls, get out of here.
Girls, come on. And they're like, oh, your son's porn. She's like, okay. Like,
because
she was just very like, whatever. Abby had a good line when she's talking to the camera guy. She says, you must be built ram tough. I wrote that down. I thought that was a good line.
Ram tough.
Loved that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so the porn was funny. And then on the boat, so the whole episode, Pacey's dad is just waffling and he's horrible. And like, even when he's like proud of Pacey, then it's like short-lived. Yeah. And then it's like a shallow pride.
Yeah.
Instead of just loving him to love him, it's like based on something he did for a brief moment or whatever. But he says this line, and I was going to see what you thought. Well, we hate him, so you're probably going to...
This is funny. This is the most interesting Dawson's Creek take we've had.
Okay.
Yes. What is the question?
You're like, I'm listening. It's like Frasier. You're my therapist today. Okay. Not really. Neither of us are licensed therapists.
Oh, God,
we know we need professional help, and we do seek it out.
And we do have professional help. Okay.
Please don't come to us for it. Okay. Pacey's dad says to him on the boat, this is the quote, a lot of things in life suck. It's my job to prepare for that inevitability. Thoughts? Is that a parent's job?
Okay. I don't know if I'd word it that way, but I do tell my kids all the time, like, life is not fair. Like, well, because my kids have like a big age gap, right? They're almost 6 years apart. So we hear a lot from one or the other, like, well, so, he doesn't have to do this, or why does he get to that? And I'm like, they're like, it's not fair. And I do say, no, it's not fair, but life isn't fair. So sometimes people do get to have things you don't for whatever reason, whether they're older, younger,
right,
etc. So I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
And I do think it's your job as a parent to kind of, you have to love your kids, but you do have to prepare them. Like, you can't just spoil them and put them in a bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think in his case, he was saying like,
I mean, he's an
it's
ass,
okay for me to be mean to you because other people are going to be mean to you, which is not what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that, but I get his
not
thought.
All sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
And that like when you face a hardship, you face the hardship.
Yes. For example, I have friends in my life over the years who, if their kids, first of all, they will request teachers for them to have. This is friends that I don't currently have in my vernacular local area right now. Just so all y'all know that.
Yep. We're not sharing everybody's business
friends,
out here.
They will request certain teachers and not for like a learning reason or whatever like that.
Right.
Just because whatever. Or if a kid's having a problem, they just take them out of the class and move them. And I won't do that. I have never done that for my kids. But it's never gotten to the point where it's interfering with their learning.
If it's extreme.
If there was extreme, if like they're not learning or the teacher's like abuse, I don't know. But I tell them, this is part of life. You have to learn how to deal with people that you may not get along with. And they might be your boss. They might be your coworker. It's part of life. So suck it up and kind of figure it out. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Relationship conflict too. That's a hard one, but it's important.
So, I mean, I guess that's like, I feel like our generation is we're like the helicopter parents and like let's just make your life as easy as possible. And I'm kind of trying, we don't do that. Yeah. I mean, and I don't want to say everybody is, but
no.
It has become more common.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get what he's saying, but also he's mean.
Yeah, that's different.
It's never okay to be mean to anybody.
Well, and I always say to my kids, and you might feel the same way, especially if they're mean to each other or whatever, like there'll be enough people and situations in the world that are negative and mean and not nice. Don't bring it home.
Well, and I say all the time, look, you can be mad and you can be mad at me. You can be pissed at me or your brother or your dad. You can be grumpy, but it's never okay. And that's okay. It's never okay to be mean.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah.
You know,
I agree
like
with you.
feel your feels. If you want to be mad and pissed, feel it. But that doesn't give you entitlement to be mean, even
Right.
if somebody else is mean to you.
Well, that crosses the line where it's outside of your bubble.
Yeah.
And now you're infringing on someone
Yes.
else's like mental health and well-being and all the things.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Moving on. Sorry, I have so many questions today.
I know, we're running out of time,
okay, we're
too.
past the porn one. Let's see. Oh, that whole scene where Joey basically accuses Jen of like stealing her place.
Oh, I put a frowny face.
Okay.
I
I said
that.
True? Question mark.
Katie.
Am I okay?
I don't know.
What do you
think? I just said I didn't like that. I just thought that was mean. Honestly.
You thought she was being mean.
I did think that was mean. Telling her, oh, you're trying to be me. Like, bitch, no. Like,
yeah.
Let her figure her shit out. I just thought that was mean.
Yeah. And I mean, Jen basically didn't say she was mean, but she basically said that's your insecurity.
Right.
And
which
was
it was.
Yeah, I agreed. I totally agreed with Jen.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, okay. So this so reminded me of myself and maybe something a kid would say about me. Totally different topic. But when they're in the tavern.
Yeah.
Dawson and
the bar.
Dad,
Yeah.
And they're like playing pool. And Dawson says, I hope my dad doesn't have too much fun tonight, or like tomorrow he's going to be the owner of a tavern on the seashore or whatever. Because at first I thought he meant because like he's separated from the mom, like something would happen. And I'm like, oh no, he's like afraid he's going to like start a new business. And I was like, my kids probably think that every time I'm anywhere, and that's cool. They're like, oh no.
Oh no, mom.
Oh no.
That's
new
funny.
website coming soon. So I thought that was funny.
That's funny.
What did you think about Gayle asking Abby to leave when she was being mean to everyone?
Valid.
Because it's her house and she was being disrespectful.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I feel we've talked about this in recent days. One person can ruin a whole vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even if the entire room is on a great, positive, happy, energetic vibe, all it takes is one person to come in and fuck it all up. And that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
She was being ugly.
And so it was like yes, Gayle's house, and she was like the older woman with the maybe more mature approach to things, but also it was Gayle's work.
Well, that's what I mean.
Was getting messed
she
with.
Was messing up the whole project the other girls couldn't be
open and vulnerable because it wasn't like a safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was down with that.
Yeah, I like that too. And same thing, Dawson's dad, just good timing for watching this episode. Dawson's like, don't you think you should be getting a job? Like, why did you come fishing this weekend? Don't you think you should blah, 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 which is very oldest child, only child, etc. to be. And Mitch goes into this whole thing. I just need something I can put my heart and passion behind.
I actually put a smiley face by
I loved that.
I did too.
I needed that.
And I mean, you know, there's not a lot of people who get to do that. You know, you don't you don't have a lot of time. Cooper reminded me today, as I was driving him to school, he said something about somebody so-and-so's 39 or 38, talking about an athlete. And he's like, they say he's young. I was like, he is young. He's like, no. He's like, his life is already half over. The life expectancy is like 80. I was like,
you're like, well, I'm older.
Well,
than
not for me.
That.
And he goes, well, you don't get to choose that. I said, well, I'm choosing it right now.
Okay,
I was like, get out my car. Like, I don't need this.
Okay, Doomsday. Doomsday Combs. Hello.
But you know, he's
funny.
12, almost 13.
No,
he just likes
not,
to argue.
Right. Yeah. No.
And he is right.
I love it though.
But also, like, you know, not everybody gets to like fulfill their passions and follow their passions. So
it was a good reminder. Yeah. Okay, yes, we only have a couple minutes left. I have a lesson. So let's just get to the part where Gayle is talking to Joey. So Joey is feeling insecure because of Jen, basically the whole episode.
Yeah.
And so then Gayle has this whole moment with her where she's like, oh, I was really like sad watching you guys interact because I always wished I had a daughter. But then I realized you're my surrogate daughter. Like, I get to have all these experiences through you. And I care about you. And I thought that was kind of sweet.
I put a frowny by it.
You didn't like it? It's putting too much on Joey?
Okay.
It also kind of, now that I think about it, since Joey's mom has passed, it's almost like saying, well, I appoint myself now
I think
to be that person, which isn't really Gayle's choice.
Yeah. I think that's why I didn't like it.
I didn't think about that till like right now.
Yeah. I think that's why I didn't like it. And maybe it's because I did have a parent pass away in my childhood. And if somebody would have told me that,
yeah,
I would not have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Totally
I
fair.
also, speaking of relatives, Pacey and his dad, okay, the moment where Pacey just pours his heart out to his dad when he's passed out drunk
on the beach,
he's crying. I just,
that scene was, wow.
It was a lot.
I mean, it was heavy, but then also I was like, man, Joshua Jackson is a good actor.
God,
what the heck?
I know.
Like, I'm like feeling this.
I know.
Because he does such a good job, really in every role he does, but in this role specifically, of being that very surface level jokester kind of whatever. But there's these moments they pick for him in the show where it's like he can sink into like the depths of that. Or even the last episode when he was telling Andy, it's because I'm falling desperately in love with you. Like, to really like, and maybe it's because the surface level's so high up here to go deep. But yeah, that scene was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a heavy episode.
Yeah. And that was mainly it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Oh, the only thing I said was when Abby's mom picked her up in the morning.
Oh,
I said I really wanted to see Abby's mom.
Me too.
I was like,
what is
looking
she
in the
like?
car. No, it was just like a very blurry, nondescript. I was like, dang it.
Like the Muppet Babies nanny.
Yeah.
Never see her face.
Is that how she goes?
No, that's Charlie Brown, teacher.
Okay.
Nanny, you just see her legs.
Yeah. Oh.
They used to drive me crazy when I was a kid. I'm like, show her face.
Show her face. Yeah.
But anyway.
Well,
that was
fun.
Kind of I don't know. I feel weird after
I just said that was fun. You're like, okay.
It was just a heavy episode. It was heavy.
If you're listening to this and you've already listened to our regular episode of Neverending Story, then go back and find something else fun to listen to. If you haven't listened to Neverending Story, that's the one.
You're missing out.
That's the one. Listen to that now.
That's the one.
That'll perk you up. You can hear my enlightened review of it. Yeah. Awesome.
She does like Falcor.
I do like Falcor. Well, thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody.
Next time. Bye.
Bye.